All right, women's soccer coming off a weekend tied at Weber State on Friday on the road and beat Idaho State on the road. This week we get to the NAU Mountain Classic, where we're going to play our 6th and 7th straight road game to start the season. I think it's the longest stretch, I think, since 2002 they've had on the road. So.
Hopefully the longest stretch ever.
Right.
Yeah. It's I think the road thing has been a challenge for us. It's these kids haven't even been to a Thursday class yet, so we're hoping to leave a little bit later on Thursday and actually let them, focus on school, because that's the main priority. But overall a good weekend. Weber State's a really good team, and we stat-wise I felt like we outperformed them 22-8 with shots, which always to me is kind of a sign that you're doing things right, but you don't have the right mentality in front of the box. And then on the other hand, that was our first shutout of the year, so I thought that was a big deal for us to finally be able to shut out a good opponent in Weber State. And then Sunday, we played 110 minutes on Friday night against Weber State in about 98-degree heat at elevation. And then on Sunday, we played a team that hadn't played in 10 days. So I was actually really proud of our result, despite the fact that we gave up 3 goals. I thought for us to find that kind of grit, and I think some of the players, I told you guys last time, we're still kind of finding an identity. We lost a lot of personality last year, and I thought some of our players really stepped up. Madison Irwin, for one, she's a senior who 2 goals and an assist on Sunday, but just played with a sense of like she's going to take over. This is her year, and she's going to assert herself. So I was pleased to walk out of there, getting a result, even though it wasn't quite the best soccer that we've ever played. But sometimes you just have to find grit and figure out a way to win. So we do it again this weekend. 2 really good opponents with Grand Canyon and AU. We played in AU in the spring and tied them. It's hard to go to their field and travel again, but our players are embracing kind of the road warrior mentality, and we do really well in the classroom, and I know they're putting an emphasis on that. So we'll go and give it a go.
What have you found out about your team as far as it's just that they have a lot of grit, as far as going on a roll like that, seeing their personalities, how they're handling it?
It's not easy, and it's just tiring. And then, the other side of it is this last trip we did on, they play that game Friday night, they eat, they sleep, and the next morning you're on the road for 2.5 hours up to Idaho. So it's just tiring, but we've adopted the mentality that we're just not making excuses. We're gonna learn every game, and we're gonna get better every game, and I think we've done that. Even Weber State, we were disappointed not to put a goal away, but we learned a lot from it, and we talked about on Sunday kind of playing a little bit more free, and maybe we were a little bit too free defensively, but a lot of players showed more of a personality on Sunday. So that to me tells me that we're still kind of moving in the right direction. And this next weekend we're going to get through, and we're going to fight our way through it, and then we're home for 2 weeks, which sounds normal for everybody else. For us, that's like heaven. So we're ready. We're going to leave a little bit later on Thursday and let them kind of recover, and they've had 2 days off, so I think we'll be ready to go.
How nice will it be to be back home after this final road trip at the start of the year?
We can't wait, and we get to come home and play New Mexico State, which is always a fun game, and they're a good team this year. And half those kids are from Albuquerque. I coached half of them in club, so that's always kind of a fun thing to me when the stands are full of people that are half are for you and half are against you. But it's a good rivalry and a good atmosphere. But I think our home field, and with so many locals on our team and so many New Mexicans on our team, it's a pretty special place to play. And when you haven't been there in a long time, it feels a whole lot more special. So we can't wait to get back here and play in front of our home fans.
You obviously use a lot of players to talk about the management of what it takes and how you make those kind of decisions, who to play when.
I felt one of the things I learned last year was I think I tried a little bit too hard for results in some of the games in our non-conference schedule, and potentially kind of gassed out some players that I really needed at the end of the year. So I view this year a whole lot more as a marathon rather than a sprint. And I want to use these non-conference games to get better, but also to get experience for a lot of players and to save a lot of our best players' legs. Because the reality of the Mountain West Conference on the women's side is you're not going to go to the NCAA tournament unless you win it. So we have to be our best when the Mountain West Conference gets here. So I think we played 21 players in both games, and pretty significant minutes. And some of them stepped in, and 2 of them that didn't start probably played the majority of the game on Sunday, which I love. You have young players that get that kind of exposure, and it also gives our seniors they don't feel like they have to carry the whole load. They have these players underneath them, and they've been incredible mentors and teaching them, and it's in women's soccer, in women's sports, if you don't have good team chemistry, you don't have a good team. And we have that. We have really, really great players that want for Lobo soccer to do well. So that's been our strategy.
The competition this week, how do you
NAU is a great team, and they've already played a couple other Mountain West teams that I think we're similar to and had really good, strong games. So I'm anticipating it'll be that. We play them first, which is great. And then Grand Canyon's had some mixed results, but they beat NAU 5-0 last week. So women's soccer's all over the map right now. Number one team in the country, Florida State, just lost to South Alabama. The Cal team that we played is now number 4 in the nation. They beat the Texas Tech team that we played 4-0. Like, everybody's just kind of beating each other up, which is sort of non-conference. Everyone's finding each other, but it's a crazy year. So I anticipate 2 really good games. Yeah.
What's the deal about Alexa Cabrales, her
Yeah.
throw?
Yeah.
I've never seen that or heard that. Is she really special?
It doesn't look like she has a spine when she takes a throw in. It's not a flip throw, which a lot of times is what you see in soccer when it goes so far. And Alexa just takes a normal throw, but it's just how far she can bend her back. So, I mean, she can throw a ball probably 60 yards driven. So anytime the ball goes out of bounds in the final third, if Alexa's in, it's like a corner for us. So I think 3 of our 4 goals came off Alexa's throw in this weekend, and then same with Texas Tech. So it's a weapon. When we'll take it.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
Yeah.
Like assisting in 2 goals from a throw in.
No, me neither. It's and what's really funny is actually on Friday night we said, because we had so many corners in that game, and we kind of consider Alexa's throw in a corner. But as a staff, we sat down and said, we've got too many players that are good in the air and this kind of weapon, and we're not getting goals off of it. So we tweaked a few things, so I'll pretend it was coaching. Yeah, but really it was 100% Alexa. So.
Speaking of traveling, you were in Rio helping out with the U.S. team, scouting for the U.S. women's national team. What'd you learn there? What'd you pick up that you might be able to apply to locals and help you with the season, or maybe even making contacts down the road to bring in more players?
Yeah, I think anytime you get a chance to participate at something that's that high of a level, you have to learn from it. And for me, I was kind of thrown into the fire and sink or swim. And but to analyze other teams at that level and see what they do and what patterns and what approaches they take makes you a better coach, because you come back here and you kind of say, what could we do different? How could we adjust? And I definitely see the game differently. I feel like I see the game at a deeper level from it. And then the other part for me was just watching that staff and the level that they demand from the players, but also the level that the players demand from themselves. Everything they do, they're doing to get better. And I think sometimes in the college atmosphere, you kind of do it because you're being told to. But when they're warming up, they're doing it to get better. When they're taking touches, they're doing it to get better, and it creates this pretty incredible environment. So it's something we've talked a lot about with our players, is like self-accountability. And if you want to get better, you have all the resources here to do it, but you have to own that a little bit. It can't come from someone else. So I think those are probably the big lessons I learned from it.
All right, guys.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.